is nobody else doing this? I can't be the only one. Maybe I'm the only one. If you are a new crocheter and you are struggling with figuring out how to even hold the freaking yarn, this video is for you. This video is also for you if maybe you have been crocheting for a while and you're finding that your tension just isn't quite right, or your hands start to ache or cramp. I'm gonna teach you a new way. I think it's new. This is the easiest way to hold your yarn. So if you've ever, watched tutorials about how to do the magical hand motions of wrapping the yarn with the fingers and the pinky and whatever you do, and you gotta figure out how are you gonna make this. I've been there. When I was a brand new crocheter, I almost quit entirely because trying to figure out how to hold my yarn felt like I was trying to learn the choreography to NSYNC songs. Am I allowed to say NSYNC? I'm not playing their music. I dated myself a lot. I have watched hours worth of videos and scoured the Google. I have never seen this done anywhere else, and I don't know why. It works wonderfully. So let's get into this quick and I hope easy to follow tutorial for how to hold your yarn the easiest way imaginable. Penny, why? We're gonna get into We're gonna get into the lesson here in just a moment, but I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Sarah Pinches. I'm a left-handed crocheter, and while most of my tutorial videos are specific for my fellow lefties, this one on how to hold your yarn the easiest, most simple way is for everybody. If you are right-handed, you'll just need to flip. How do you even explain this? I'm not going to make it more complicated by explaining it. So stay tuned. It is easy, I promise. And hey, if you find value in this, I would really appreciate it if you would give it a like and click the subscribe button. I'm working on something really awesome and would love for you to be the first to hear about it. All right, let's get into it. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you the easiest, most simple way to hold your yarn, and you can get started crocheting any project with this method of yarn hold. And let me be clear, I have scoured YouTube and Google and all of the other methods out there for how to hold your yarn are fantastic. They work for most people, and I think I'm just one of the people it did not work for me. None of the other techniques. This hold works for every project I have done. It continues to be the way that I hold my yarn today. If you look at any of my stitch tutorial videos, you'll notice maybe that I'm holding it different than you have seen other crocheters hold their yarn. The reason I'm teaching this to you is because I don't know how many other folks might be like me and really be excited to learn to crochet, but can't even figure out how to hold the freaking yarn. I get it, I was there. So you're gonna have your yarn ready to be held in your non-dominant hand. I'm a lefty, so you're gonna see me picking up and manipulating the yarn with my right hand, and I'm gonna be holding my hook with my left hand. Okay, so when you have your yarn in front of you, we're gonna say that our project is calling for us to start with a slip knot. I have a tutorial on how to do a slip knot, but we'll do one quickly here by forming an X on this side of our fingers, bringing the tail down, and then because I want to bring this loop back over this one and pull that out, and that gives us our little loop that we're going to insert our hook into, and you pull up on your tail to secure the yarn to your tail. Okay, And so you can see we can still wiggle. There's really, and here's the thing too, when you hear about tension and about how tight you have your yarn on your hook, when you make a slip knot, there's really nothing you can do that's gonna tighten that loop up so much that you can't move it on your hook. So that's the thing about a slip knot, is it is movable. If you pull down on your working yarn, it loosens up. If you pull up on your tail, it tightens up, okay? So that's just a quick little thing about tension. Once you have your slip knot on your hook, this is how you're gonna hold your yarn. Pick up, if you're left-handed, like me, you're gonna pick up your hook with your left hand. With your working yarn, you're going to pick it up like this, just like so, and you're gonna rest your working yarn. It's going along the same direction as the tip of your hook, right? You're gonna rest that working yarn about right here on your middle finger, and you're gonna pinch down with your pointer finger, just like so. That's it. You're holding your yarn. You're going to be able to now start stitching and doing whatever stitch your project calls for. Here, we're going to start by making a foundation chain, which I'll start to show you in just a moment, but I want you to understand, if you're looking at this and you're like, this is just way too simple, I know. I don't know why nobody else does this. This frees up the rest of the 3 fingers on my hand in order to be able to control. My cat is getting my ball of yarn. By holding your yarn this way, again, literally, all we do is have my working yarn in the same direction that's facing the end of my crochet hook is pinched between my pointer finger and my middle finger, roughly right around my first knuckle. And it's gonna, move maybe a little bit on either side of my knuckle. That's okay. But this frees up the rest of my right hand. I'm a lefty again. It frees up the rest of my hand to be able to firmly hold my slip stitch, to firmly hold my slip knot so that I can now begin to make my foundation chain. So I'm gonna yarn over, and I have a tutorial on the foundation chain, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna yarn over. I feel like I need to loosen this up a little bit, so I have my free fingers to do that. And I'm gonna pull through that first loop from my slip knot. There's my chain. And I yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through. How I'm holding this yarn is it is tight. There's tension, see? And so in any of the other tutorials you may have seen, it's all about however you choose to hold your yarn is fine. You just need for there to be tension between the yarn and your hook in order to be able to make any stitches that you want to make in crochet. We have created all of the tension that we need here. Some of the more typical holds that you've seen, just to demonstrate, if I can even remember, because I don't crochet this way, typically we'll have you doing something more along the lines of this to create the tension between your pointer finger, where the yarn is coming up from, and your thumb, with some added tension happening back here. Sometimes some people wrap it around their pinky to increase or decrease the tension that they feel they need. It's just, I don't find any of that necessary. When you pinch down on your yarn, you can choose whatever's comfortable for you for how far away from the hook you're gonna be. The closer you hold your yarn to the hook, no matter what your hold is, typically the tighter your tension is gonna be, and the more difficult it may be to pull that yarn through your loop. Whereas the further away you're holding it, the looser your tension is, you see? And sometimes that can make you have stitches that are a little too loose. That is true no matter how you hold your yarn. So therefore, this way that I'm showing you, by just pinching, again, between your pointer finger and your ring finger, wherever is comfortable for you, it doesn't matter. But this gives you control over your yarn, control over your tension, and it frees up the rest of your hand, like I said, to be able to support your dominant hand with being able to complete each of your stitches. So I'm gonna do just a couple more here. So you see me sliding my fingers back a little bit to loosen up my tension. I do tend to be a bit more of a tighter crocheter. So there we go. I've made several foundation chains here, and now let's just start making a single crochet. So I'm going to put my yarn into there. I'm yarning over. I can use my fingers too, right? I'm helping guide my hook right through. Yarn over, 2 loops on the hook, and pull through. Okay. And you can watch me where I'm placing my fingers. You're gonna just pick whatever is most comfortable for you to lay your hook, to lay your fingers. And again, you would need to figure that out no matter how you're holding your yarn. That is something that will just come more naturally to you. But to hold your yarn and get the tension that you need, literally just between your pointer finger and your middle finger, we're calling this the Pinches hold. I'm Sarah Pinches. I hope that this is helpful for you. If it was, I would really appreciate it if you would let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, and we will see you soon. Thank you.